What's up, everyone? It's Project 619. Today I wanted to talk about Batman vs. Superman and a few other DC movies that are supposed to be coming out in the next upcoming years, how they could tie into this movie, and you know, characters and things like that, actors, blah blah blah. It's gonna be two parts, so stay tuned. This is just part one. Also, before I start, I wanted to say thank you to everyone who watched my Arkham Knight video. If you haven't yet, please go and watch that. Thank you to my new subscribers, and to everyone, please help get my channel out there. I want it to grow and get a lot bigger. I want to get really serious with YouTube, and I'm gonna start uploading a lot more stuff a lot quicker, so stay tuned for that. Now on to Batman vs. Superman. So first off, I recently watched Return of the Dark Knight 1 and 2, parts 1 and 2, and it was actually a really good movie. I can honestly say, if Batman vs. Superman is going to be anything like that movie, then DC might make, a pretty big comeback in theaters, because as we know, Marvel has kind of been sort of owning it so far. So first off, this part is going to be sort of spoilery, so if you haven't seen Return of the Dark Knight 1 and 2, I would either stop watching or skip forward. So in that movie, there was a law that was passed that all the heroes had to hang up their capes, basically, and stop being heroes, because the public, like everyone, was pretty much scared of them, because the superpower guys, what's stopping them from turning? And if they do, how can you stop them? So before anything like that happens, the law was passed, all heroes give up, and of course there was some resistance. Batman, however, was kind of sort of relieved, which really does sound odd, someone telling Batman, hey, you gotta stop being Batman, and he's just sort of okay with it, because it's time to retire. And the thing that I heard about Batman vs. Superman is that in this movie, Bruce has already been Batman for 17 years, so it's not like we're getting a new Batman, and it's not like we're getting, like a fresh young Batman. He's gonna be sort of aged, but experienced, feared, and respected. There was also some news about them casting a young kid who knows martial arts, so that's gonna be the young Bruce Wayne. So we're gonna get a small look into his childhood and how he became Batman, instead of them making a whole movie about it, kind of like how they did with the Christian Bale Batman. I did like that Batman a lot. It was my favorite so far, but we're not going to get like an origin movie, from the beginning. It's going to be just a small like scene, probably, from what it sounds like they're doing. But so Batman's been swinging around Gotham, saving lives for 17 years, and here comes this dude in blue tights and a red cape, and he causes ridiculous destruction of Metropolis. Obviously, I'm talking about Superman. And I read this little article that was supposed to be quote-unquote leaked from the script, and it was saying that Bruce Wayne was there in Metropolis when that big fight happened in the end. I still haven't seen Man of Steel yet. I want to, but I asked a friend to tell me pretty much everything about it, so that way I could talk about this properly and know what happened. And I read the plot and pretty much scene for scene what happened, so yeah, I know I ruined it for myself. But anyway, so they're saying that Bruce was there and he saw firsthand what Superman was capable of, the death toll, the destruction. And so what it's sounding like they're doing is, in this movie, he's making it his mission to determine whether or not Superman is really on our side. And if he's not, what is his whole goal for being here? Because obviously he can't just go around destroying every city. And I'm assuming that Batman's gonna scope him out and kind of hunt him sort of from a distance and kind of watch him, but obviously Superman will know he's there because of his super hearing. So excuse me, sorry about that. So yeah, with his super hearing, he'll probably know that he's there, hear his gadgets and all that, confront him eventually, but that's just my guess. But in Return of the Dark Knight, Superman was pretty much like the president's, I guess you can say, attack dog. And obviously, with Superman being new and this being just the second movie he's in, for this universe, wise, that's not going to be the case. So there was this picture that was posted online a while back, last year actually, and it was showing I believe it was a statue of Superman, maybe. I think that's what it said, and you could see there were a lot of people standing around. There was like a green screen in the back, and there was a lot of people standing around holding flowers and candles, and it was supposed to be a statue of Superman. So my guess is that there's going to be people who thank Superman, like in this movie, because there's going to be people who thank Superman for what he did, saving the city and all that. But then there's of course going to be that crowd who's like, nah, screw that dude. So many more people are dead because of him. Why do you have to come to our planet anyways? Who is he? This is all his fault, blah blah blah. And I can kind of agree with the second part, the people who are angry, because if you think about it, like I saw I think a few short little clips that showed some of the destruction that was caused to Metropolis, and it was just kind of way out there. And I'm thinking, I'd be thinking the same way as these guys, like, hey, this dude just pretty much destroyed our homes. Like, we don't have much, and what we do have has now been destroyed. Banks, our homes, cars, all that. So I'd be siding with them. But what I'm assuming is going to happen is they're going to build a statue of Superman to thank him for what he did, saving everyone, while there's still of course going to be the haters and all that. But I'm thinking maybe in the end of the movie he's going to die, because there's been a lot of talks about the villain being Doomsday, because you can't, how do I phrase it? Like, you can make a whole entire movie about Batman and Superman fighting, but it wouldn't make too much sense. Maybe one confrontation, and then, Bruce smartens up, gets his super armor, and then comes back to fight him again. But, of course, seeing the short teaser clip from the San Diego Comic-Con, Batman's going to be fully prepared when he fights him. So they're going to need to have something else to keep the audience, like captured in the movie. So having Doomsday as a villain would make a lot of sense. And if Doomsday is in the movie and that statue was of Superman, and those people were mourning over him, or putting flowers and candles on that, around that statue, it's obviously because he died, and that means Doomsday killed him. So it would be the whole death of Superman storyline, kind of like how it was in Superman Doomsday. But we all know Superman's not going to be dead, it's just everybody's going to think he is. So I think, like, if for those of you who have seen Return of the Dark Knight, the final fight is honestly, to me, the best part of that movie. So if they make that fight exactly how it was, but maybe just better, I'd be fine with that. But hopefully they make it a lot better than it was in the cartoon movie, even though it was great. No complaints about it whatsoever. But I'm still kind of wondering where this movie is going to really go, because obviously it's going to lead into the Justice League. Like, we know that. Like, Batman and Superman are going to be on the same terms, they're going to be friends and whatever. But also, what about Lex Luthor? From everything that's been said, he's going to have hair. Jesse Eisenberg is going to have hair. That right there already pisses me off. I don't know if they've said anything about them changing that, about him not having hair, but what I'm going to assume is that, he's going to have hair in the beginning, and due to all the stress trying to, figure out how to keep his company afloat, he loses his hair and directs all of his hate towards Superman. All that stress just, makes his hair fall out and whatever. But with Lex Luthor being in this, I kind of want to know if he's going to be, because I don't think he's just going to be the only villain. I'm still hoping that they put Doomsday in it, but we'll see how that goes. But if he's going to be a villain, what are they going to do? Is he going to have his you know, his super suit, or not super suit, but his mechanical suit, you know, I guess you can call it that. Is he gonna have that? You know, are they gonna show how he built that? Or because this movie is just gonna be after Man of Steel, so I don't know if they'll give him the suit just yet. I think they want us to grow some kind of hate for Lex Luthor first, and they're gonna try and make it so that you know, he gets to hate Superman first, and then at the end of the movie it'll show him building the suit, and you know, he wants to get rid of Superman permanently and all that. I can understand that. It would work, and it would be kind of cool, I think. You know, after credit scene, and you see him in a little workshop, and you see the big L on like an octagon, and then the rest of the suit around it. I don't know if they'll do that, but they should. I think. I mean, that this is just like kind of what I want to a degree, or what I think they should do. So whatever you guys want to see, leave that down in the comment section, please. Also, this is just going to be part 1. There is going to be part 2. And this gameplay footage of Injustice is me playing. So there's that. Let's see. Where else was I thinking of? I think maybe what they need to do is, after they've made, you know, enough, like maybe 2 or 3 Justice League movies, maybe 4 or 5, I don't know. I think they should end it with how things were in Return of the Dark Knight, because spoiler alert here, there was a law that was passed. I think I might have said this earlier, I don't know, but there was a law that was passed that said the heroes had to hang up their capes. So in part 2 I will get to more of that. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in a minute.